You wake up before your alarm. You always do now. It's 5:47 a.m. The house is quiet, the neighborhood is quiet. Your net worth is $2.1 million. And this morning, just like every morning, it feels like nothing. Not nothing bad, just nothing, like a temperature you've adjusted to without noticing when the adjusting happened. You used to think about the number constantly. Now you make coffee and look at the tree in the backyard, losing the same leaves it loses every October. Here's the thing nobody tells you about building real wealth. The day you finally get there, you already left. You put on the same jeans you've worn for 11 years, not because you can't afford new ones, because somewhere around your first million, you stopped thinking about jeans. The decision already got made. It doesn't need to be made again. Psychologists call this decision fatigue reduction. Every unnecessary choice you eliminate frees cognitive bandwidth. Warren Buffett eats the same breakfast every morning. Obama wore the same suit colors every day he was president. It's not frugality. It's the quiet luxury of a mind that stopped arguing with itself about small things. You make coffee at home, not to save the money. You genuinely stopped wanting the $7 version more. This surprises people when you try to explain it. Past a certain point to why frugality stops being restraint and becomes preference. The cage door has been open for years. You just like the room. You open the laptop, 90 seconds. As the only time today you'll look at the money. $1.4 million in index funds, 3 funds, total market, international, bonds. You haven't sold a single share in 17 years. Not in 2020 when the market dropped 34% in 6 weeks and your account was losing the equivalent of a car every few days. Not in 2022 when everyone online was certain the system was finished. You just kept buying every 2 weeks like rent paid to your future self. Psychologists call this systematic investment behavior. Your brain wants to do something when things feel dangerous. The wealthy brain learns that the something is nothing. You close the laptop, the market will rise or fall today. You will do absolutely nothing. This took a decade to learn. It costs nothing but patience, and it is the closest thing to a superpower that ordinary people are allowed to have. You drive the 2017 Camry, 118,000 miles. At a red light, a brand new truck pulls up beside you, $74,000 easy. Statistically, he financed it around $1,100 a month, 72 months. You don't do the math anymore the way you used to. You used to feel something close to satisfaction watching numbers like that. You don't anymore, not because you're better than him. His truck makes memories, and there's no spreadsheet for that. But you watched your father get laid off at 54 with $8,000 in savings and terror in his eyes. And at 19, in one cold, permanent moment, you decided nobody would ever do that to you. Every identical pair of jeans, every kept Camry, every automatic transfer. A 19-year-old keeping his promise. The light turns green. He roars away. You proceed calmly sipping coffee from a free conference thermos. You still work. Senior project manager, 14 years in, $112,000 a year. Nobody suspects the guy with the 10-year-old cooler bag could buy the parking garage. You work because you like it and because every paycheck is now pure surplus. Every dollar you earn is optional. When your director floats a bad idea, you say calmly, I don't think that works. Here's why. You can afford honesty, the most expensive thing in any office, and you're the only one fully paid up. 2 years ago, they offered a promotion, 30% more pay, 300% more meetings. You said no thank you. Your director looked at you like you declined a kidney. This is what money actually buys, not the yacht, not the watch, the no. At 10:15, a younger colleague catches you in the kitchen. Dev, 26, sharp, quietly drowning. Can I ask something weird? You seem like you have it figured out. I've got $9,000 in credit card debt and I don't even know what I bought. You could lecture him. You don't. You remember being 26 when $14,000 in card debt felt heavier as shame than as balance. You say, "Want the two sentences that fixed my life? Pay yourself first, automatically, before you can touch it. Never carry a balance on anything that doesn't grow. That's it. Everything else is commentary." You don't tell him you're a millionaire. You never tell anyone. But that afternoon, you send him the same book someone sent you 23 years ago. Sometimes wealth transfers in ways no bank can see. Your sister calls at lunch, her water heater died. $1,400 she doesn't have. You hear the tightness in her voice, someone rehearsing an apology for existing. You remember that sound from the inside. I'll send it now. But it's not a loan. Water heaters break. It's not a character flaw. You transfer $1,400 from the cash account. It refills automatically from surplus you never miss. Here's the math nobody puts in a thumbnail. $1,400 is 0.06% of your net worth. For your sister, it was a crisis headed for a card at 27% interest. It would have metastasized into $2,100 of stress paid over 18 months. The greatest return you'll ever get is deleting an emergency from someone you love. No index fund touches it. Mid-afternoon, a watch you've wanted for 2 years drops to $3,900. You can afford it the way other people afford gum. You put it in the cart, then you run the old ritual. Not, "Can I afford this?" That question retired years ago. 3 questions instead. Will I still want this in 30 days? Am I buying the object or the feeling? Who am I wearing it for? You sit with question 3 the longest, the honest answer, for strangers. And your entire life was built on refusing to pay for strangers' opinions. You close the tab, not with willpower, with recognition. Psychologists call this identity-based decision making. When your choices align with who you actually are, willpower becomes irrelevant. You're not resisting the watch. You just don't want it the way you thought you did. Dinner with your wife, you did not build this alone. 22 years ago, on your third date, she told you she had $6,000 saved and a plan. You fell in love on the spot. 4 money arguments in 2 decades. Each resolved the same way. First Sunday of every month, 30 minutes, coffee. Numbers on the table, no ambushes, no secrets. Money problems in a marriage are almost never math problems. They're surprise problems. You deleted the surprises. After dinner, you walk 2 miles. Same loop most nights. A podcast this morning asked Watch, "What's your number? When is it enough?" You passed your number $900,000 ago, and nothing happened. No confetti. The number became a bigger number, and you were still you walking the same loop. You read in bed tonight. Tomorrow, one meeting, a dentist, your niece's birthday next week. One day she'll open a letter explaining what's been growing since she was born. That will be the loudest thing your money has ever done. Your father never made it through the corridor. You decided at 19 that you would. Not to be rich. To never have terror in his eyes the way he did at a kitchen table when you were 8 years old. Today you earned $430 from investments while you slept, spent $31, gave away $1,400. Declined a watch. Nobody clapped. Nobody knows. Tomorrow the market will open, rise or fall. And you will do nothing beautifully again, because when real money is finally permanently yours at Iwak, it goes completely silent. And so do you.